It's Friday Night Pints. We're back here at the Horseshoe Bar. It's brought to you by Sling TV. Sling TV, if you don't know by now, is the best place to get all of your streaming entertainment, regular TV and movies, along with live sports. They have all of the major TV networks, and then including things like F1 and all the unusual sports. And then the icing on the cake, you've got a 24/7 Barstool Sports channel, which I was just looking at the full Sling TV programming. You know, like when MTV just has ridiculousness. Yeah. I was looking at our whole thing, and you can catch Friday Night Pints at Friday night at 1 a.m. So you can start your Friday and do your happy hour with it, or after you come home shit-faced, pop on Pints and wrap up your night with us, have a nightcap with us. It's like the perfect time. I also believe that on Saturday, there's a season 1 Barstool marathon coming up. Were you in that or no? No. So anybody, you were in that?
You were.
Yeah. So you want to catch Vibbs and all his antics in season 1? You're not doing season 2?
No.
One was enough?
I'm doing another
okay.
dangerous game, yeah.
Got it. All right, so catch all of your Barstool entertainment along with all your regular entertainment on Sling TV. Go to sling.com/Barstool. Get the first couple days for free. And then you got to pay like $30 a month. It's like the cheapest option out there. Sling.com/Barstool. Final break's coming in hot. What's wrong?
Well, first of all, did you just use the MTV ridiculousness thing to describe TV Guide to us?
No, I know what he was saying.
I know, yeah, it's a TV guide.
No, the grid.
TV guide.
That's a TV guide. That's you literally hit the guide button on a TV.
No,
that pops
TV
up.
Guide is all what's on TV right now on all the channels. This is one channel their entire week.
It's the guide, the week for the guide, the guide for
No,
the week.
there's never been another. It's like name one other place you've seen that.
I would say.
I've never seen.
I would say I was
that in your
just
life.
checking the schedule for the week.
You have never once had anything. If you can name me one other channel that you've ever seen the layout for the whole week, I'll concede. There's only one example.
But I don't
It's
need
MTV
an
ridiculous.
example to know what a week for the fuck off.
That's what
All
TV
right.
Guide was, though, right? TV Guide was like you could open it up and you saw like the whole week like laid
Yeah,
out.
but it was every channel right then, not one channel for the whole
Right.
week.
The only channel that you see it on the internet is MTV because it's ridiculousness.
No, yeah, I get that.
I get it.
was
I
thinking
get it.
it's
I get it, but it's not
It's not
right.
true TV these days because it's a lot of impractical.
I still have never watched Impractical Jokers.
It's funny.
And I think I would like it.
Yeah.
Actually, the clips I have seen are funny. They're very like internet clips where it's like.
There some I can see why people think it's cheesy. There's
Yeah.
some stuff where it's like ha ha ha, like
Well, they're on
laughing.
true TV.
Right, but
You
like
know?
there is a lot of like genuinely very funny stuff. Like
There's
the
a reason
rating
why.
they do for it. Yeah.
It's
Like
also
the-
one of those things like Nickelback and all these things where it's
Yeah.
like they sell 1 million records or they're on for 15 seasons for a fucking reason. And I know that can mean that like middle America people who like Simple Trent.
No, Simple Trent is too good for Impractical
Oh,
Jokers.
that's right, but he loves-
Bazinga! Oh, The Big Bang Theory is the greatest show in the world, but no, Simple Trent can't.
Yeah, so, but I also know like Sal Vulcano is like a really successful stand-up
He-
comic.
yeah.
And so like if you take him off,
But he was in Practical Jokers first, right?
I think he was a comic.
I think it
I
was
mean, all those
like-
guys who start.
So they were originally
But I
like
think
an
they blew
improv.
up first. Like,
They were an improv group originally who like did comedy, and then they like had their own YouTube channel, and then they pitched that to.
My point being that like they probably do like.
They have
funny-
backgrounds in
funny,
comedy,
Like,
yeah.
We
edgy
saw your
comedy.
boy Joe, whatever, in Nashville.
Gallo. Yeah, Joe Gallo.
Joe Gatto?
Yeah,
Gatto, yeah. He was on stage.
Joey Gallo.
He was the late show after us.
Where?
At Zany's, Nashville.
Oh, how was it?
We were in the green room, like kind of hanging out.
He left
so
the
listening.
show, you know.
He what?
Yeah, yeah, he
left
Oh,
the show.
right.
Yeah.
Him and this other comic, Steve.
Martin.
Burn.
Him and this other comic, Steve Byrne, kind of just like did not even crowd work. They were just talking for
3 hours?
We had the early show from like 7 to 8:30. They went on stage at 9:30. We got there like midnight, and they were just still going. It's crazy. Wow. And then it was funny. Bert Kreischer was having his after party there, and he was like, "All right, like I'm gonna go out there and like we'll wrap things up to start the party." I was like, "Yeah, Bert Kreischer's gonna go out there and not talk a lot. He did like another hour and a half." But yeah, he seemed to be killing on stage, just like with the crowd and everything.
Go back to the boys.
I don't like the Impractical Jokers for a
Talk off
deeply,
camera about that, by the way.
a deeply personal reason, and this is like years ago. I had a girlfriend who loved them, and it's all she watched. And I was eventually like, I was like, you gotta turn this shit off. Like this is not good. I don't like this. We have to watch something else. And she just goes, you don't like this because you guys at Barstool all think you're the funniest, and these guys are funnier than you.
Oh.
And I was like, yup. Oh my fucking God.
And I think you ended up, you dated her for a little while longer. It should have been done right then and there. Because there's no way you or her can continue after that's been said.
You had to go just long enough to make it look like that wasn't the reason.
No, I like very shortly thereafter cried in bed watching Miracle, and that was the end.
That was the real end. She killed you on Impractical Jokers. You cried during Miracle,
That was
and then
the
you
cry
cried
that
when
holding in
you
since the Impractical Jokers.
right. That was like a 3-week
Miracle just
cry,
got me out of it.
and then you chugged a beer and cried when she broke up with you.
A lot of crying.
You were on a heater, that relationship, bud. Let me tell you what. You know what's crazy? It's one of your more successful relationships. I can say that because all of mine are a failure. What are you hot about though? You said you were.
Well, you're talking about on a heater. I'm on a big time candy heater right now that's got to stop. Like truly. I'm on a bender.
You saying that about candy is like if Frank
open
was
your
like, I've
beer.
been drinking too much soda.
Dude,
It's like
it started
that's
Monday
scary.
night. Monday night in like an hour span, I ate an entire of those massive bags of Sour Patch Kids, an entire massive bag of peanut butter cups, and a pint of ice cream in like an hour.
one night? In an hour?
In an hour, Kevin. Like in an hour.
That's almost like you have to be trying.
I was trying. I was
like, how much can I eat in an hour?
filming that shit.
Yeah.
So I was trying because on a lot of sets they use fake stuff. They use prop beating, not me. I fucking eat it.
John's now a pro. He did a little filming on a
So in your
project.
secret project, the object of it was to gouge you with candy?
Parts of it,
Okay,
sure.
cool.
Yeah, parts of it. And then I woke up.
It's secret,
secret
Tommy!
Project, Tommy.
What's a hint?
Sake.
What's a hint? I can't tell you.
Did you tease it at all?
It's something
When I was wearing makeup on Monday, that picture of me in makeup on Monday.
He's
that
a
was,
superstar. Bow down.
it's maybe something that would have aired in between ridiculousness back in the day.
Okay.
Right?
That's
Okay.
not as
Hint,
funny
like-
as a practical
RuPaul's drag show.
You certainly looked like that. There was a scene I saw of him, just a still shot. He's on a swing, wearing a woman's robe with the makeup, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I was like, this is gay as fuck.
That had nothing to do with the filming.
Yeah, no,
was
really
just-
kind
that
of
was
did.
off camera.
Kind of did.
No, I didn't.
That was a behind the scenes shot.
Yeah.
But no, so I tweeted yesterday after your stupid fucking bench clearing brawl.
Arenado is such a pussy.
I quote tweeted the fucking bullpen thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is dumb. Sit down and eat seeds.
Because we're running all the way in from the bullpen for a baseball.
Hopping
ball.
over the fence.
That was cool.
That was the coolest
That
thing
was
that's
very
happened in a
cool.
baseball fight.
Yeah.
Something cool happening in a baseball fight is like more rare than Haley's Comet.
Absolutely.
And that dude fucking jumping the fence like he's an SVU like cop getting
Yeah. They
chased.
said it was like the Ultimate Warrior running into
Yeah.
the ring. You know?
Well, even like the
Doing
way he
slide.
jumped the fence is the way I can't jump a fence.
But they
Like,
kinda
he like
like
runs
roll
into it and like
they just
flips it.
That's so cool.
But I was like, I was talking about him specifically being like, you're doing too much. Sit down and eat seeds. It was cool, but also it's
Yeah.
clearly way too much.
Right.
And
Because you're not going to fight anyway.
And let me guess, the Cardinals fans were.
no,
fucking-
it's not Cardinals fans. It's just baseball players.
Baseball fans.
I have so many goddamn high school baseball players from Georgia in my mentions.
In their-
being
with
like,
their pictures
being like,
and
if you're not just about the action, just say that, boss. No, none of them are about the action. That's the point.
They're
If they
baseball
were getting out
pitchers.
there and hitting each other, I'd say fucking do it.
Yeah.
None of them are doing anything. And it is one of those things. It was actually on the dozen last night. I'm sorry, on the bracket last night. We were talking about the most uncool moves in the world. And the one there were two that I wanted to win, did not. Caring, won.
Carrying me a run.
Caring made a run. Caring is uncool as fuck. And then standing. And
standing.
my argument with standing was it makes whatever you think is cool uncool to everyone. And I think
Standing?
Standing. S-T-A.
Standing. I thought you said standing.
I thought he did
I was like,
too.
I think I hate standing. I don't think it's cool, but I think it just sucks. Standing, yes.
And I think standing is one of the most uncool things you can do.
Yeah.
And now I hate baseball. I'm done
Just
with it.
because somebody stand it.
There's so many people in my mentions.
Well, you also gotta remember
like,
there's
dude,
a
you don't
reason
understand.
Cardinal
You don't understand what baseball players are like. I do. They're an individual sport who like happen to be on a team.
There's
But
only
are they
fucking-
standing or are they caring?
They're
It could
both.
just be-
They're
yeah,
they're
way,
both.
Either way, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Either way, you're uncool. There's only one time, I think, in the history of baseball. It was Graham Lloyd and Jeff Nelson, and they
that was
ran
the
in from the
Orioles
pen
fight, I
and
think.
fucking bam.
Dude, when was the last
crazy.
like
It was like
baseball
96 though.
fight?
Never.
I swear, I think
James
it's what I'm
Shields?
talking
I mean,
about.
the Yankees Red Sox
Probably.
probably pretty good.
Like,
one.
When was, that
I
was
mean, people
15 years
scuffle,
ago?
but there's
The-
never just
the
like.
A-Rod Varitek one.
No,
that was-
Even that was just
Rudy
a push.
Odor.
I remember
Pedro,
Canyon Sturts was
Pedro
good.
Zimmer. No, that was after.
Pedro Zimmer was before
Odor
that.
and Joey Bat.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like a fight, but the bench is clear, and there's never just like.
bench is clearing is
I
when
need
the fight
people to
ends.
square up. Like
Yeah.
like hockey benches or lines square up, brawl. They just run out from the bullpen, just like stand around and
You
be
know what
out
the
of breath.
difference
I like
is?
people.
I think people back in like the 80s and shit like wanted a couple days off.
Yeah.
They're like, pop, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go drink for 3 days. I get suspended for the week, and I get the fuck, do whatever I want.
But people even they're like, dude, you don't even get it. Like if they don't go out there, they get fined. Like I haven't heard of a fucking kangaroo court before.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
And
Just,
I
how
don't
about-
think
how
they
about
do
this?
that anymore, by the
Well,
way.
then stop doing that because you're not. There's no need for it.
I
It's the
would-
dumbest thing. I would argue that baseball bench cleaning brawls is the dumbest thing in sports. The most unnecessary, stupidest thing in sports.
They
I like them. It's just such a rush when they're.
But the thing is, it's
but then it's a
not.
letdown every time.
I
It's
know.
not a
but
rush.
But
Because you know
that
what's
initial,
gonna happen.
oh, they're they're coming, the benches are clearing.
The possibility that it
yeah.
could turn into something.
Like,
still
a
that
batter
possibility
should be able to
is gone.
square up with a pitcher, like a hockey fight.
Did
but
Bryce Harper do that with Hunter Strickland or something?
yeah, he went out.
Reds.
No, he
Reds
tried
got
to
in, like, a
throw.
Amir Garrett,
something at
he
him.
threw a punch
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
that was
Oh,
a
yeah.
solid.
He ran over on like the side, on like the foul line, threw a punch.
Underrated
I think
fight
the
was
stupidest thing in the
Papelbon.
world is bases clearing fucking brawls for a guy who didn't even get hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
The ball wasn't even that. It was like barely inside. Just because you turn away from it, there was
That
another.
was not hunting. That was not hunting.
Get the fuck out of here! I never thought one way or another about Nolan Arenado, but that guy's a fucking pussy. If that's he's gonna react like that. It was. You can't charge them out on a pitch that didn't hit you.
The worst
I
look, though,
agree with
Pete
that.
Alonso in the postgame being like, if I wanted to put someone in the hospital out there, I could have.
I
just
said it
chose
today.
not to.
I said it on We Gotta Believe. I said Pete Alonso is like a super hot chick, where it's like I love your body and I love what you do, but
It's still
every
like,
time, and I like what he does. Like he did LFGM. He said, "Let's fucking go Mets." People like that. I love like when he's on like at the home run derby. He's got like swagger when he's
he like a J.J.
blasting
Watt?
bombs.
He's a little
but
J.J.
then when he
Watt.
opens his mouth, he's very hard though. He's like very like I could put people in the hospital. Like
Well,
yeah, I mean, you could. You're a big fucking guy, but like
still the
he
funniest
didn't, like,
thing
it didn't.
was the Padres fans making the photoshops of him
The
walking
best.
down the Twin Towers.
It's one of the all-time trolls. It's one of the worst. One of the worst. Like, I had to
What a
take
good
the L as a
9/11.
Mets fan because the Padres. Padres fans had this crew of trolls that are very good, and they were making flags, making pictures that had Pete Alonso holding an ISIS flag, and then they made one where he's like swinging and it's the explosion with the tower.
Shut the
And
fuck
he
up.
responded on Twitter being like, I've reported this is un-American, and then they wrote back like, whatever, terrorists. Kept it going. And I was sitting there.
He cared.
He cared.
He cared.
And then I think shortly after that, he got rid of his Twitter eventually, because I think, like I said, he's a little bit like, you gotta kind of be with it for Twitter. It's like, if you're not with it, just fucking don't be on it, because you're gonna get got. Like Steve Cohen got. Like
Did he
Pete
think
Alonso
he
got
actually knocked down?
I think it's actually even
picture is
better.
like,
I think they started with the ISIS flags, then he went on his long
and
rant,
then
like this
they-
isn't
yeah.
cool, and then they said,
Yes.
what's even less cool?
And I'm sitting there like, as a Mets fan, I was like, this is so good. Like, these fans are fucking funny. I was like, eh. And I'm like the New York guy. I'm supposed to be like, this is disgusting. I was like, this is hilarious. Yeah, but you know what it is?
I didn't do that.
I did not.
I never did that. I never did that.
The problem is, I think
Oh, man.
that's why caring is uncool, because you get caught up in these situations. But then I think you come out the other side where not caring becomes uncool too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So caring and not caring could be a final showdown.
That's the
Yeah.
problem with the whole thing, because there were a lot of things that are so uncool doing them is cool. Like one was turning down drugs. And it's like, if you fucking are just like, nah, I don't do that shit
No.
anymore, like that's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Right. The lamest thing is like getting peer pressured into something you don't want to do. Like, I don't know, maybe like smoking a cigar where you end up chewing like half the cigar and swallowing it. We were at the after parties at Zany's. Bert and his crew are big time cigar guys. And so this one guy offers me, and I was just like, no, because saying no is lame, but what I'm about to do to the cigar is even lamer. And that automatically just meant that John had said yes, because I said no, so this guy just handed John one. And they all had clippers. They all clipped it. And John was just like,
I would have no idea.
I didn't have one, so I fucking bit it. So I just like
funniest
gnawed
thing-
it off.
I'm like, John, you got like some there. He's like, I know, Ken. I just ate half a cigar. It was so
I had
it was-
tobacco in my teeth for 24 hours.
It was so, and then we got super high, so he's like, just fucking tobacco everywhere.
I think turning down drugs is a good one for the bracket.
For uncool?
Uncool thing. Like if you're like in a group
If
setting.
you're in like high school, but then I think if like you are a grown man and you're like,
I've got too many demons.
yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that on KFC Radio a long time ago. Maybe this very conversation where it's like, I think we were making fun of people who don't drink, losers. But then there's also this element of like, if someone offers you a drink and you're like, can't do it, man.
That's what I
Not
did.
anymore. And then people were like, whoa, shit. This guy's murdered someone. This guy went to jail for vehicular homicide.
Yeah,
Whoa.
really, it's just I got a DUI and hit a car of high school kids. They were on their way to school. I was coming home.
By a car is pretty lame.
Getting hit by a car is lame.
You got hit by a car?
No,
No, you were saying.
Oh, getting hit by a car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think getting hit by, like, if you, an individual, gets hit by a car. Not like your
I
car.
got hit by a
person.
car.
Car accident. Yeah.
I got hit by a car. It's actually really kind of serendipitous. I got hit by a car walking home because my buddy had just gotten a DUI. He couldn't drive the car, so I had to walk home. And I mean, I didn't get hit hard, but it was like I rode I was crossing the street. It was in Newport. I was crossing the street, got hit, kind of rode the hood until they stopped, and then
And
I
you
slid
flew off?
and just kept walking.
That's slick, man. That becomes cool. It's uncool if you get hit by a car. It's cool
If
if
you
do
fall
that.
down, it's immediately not.
Yeah.
That was on the list.
Falling
Falling
down.
down was awesome.
Tripping, specifically tripping, is a tough one.
Calling an ambulance, is that on there uncool?
Calling an ambulance is up there for just the dumbest things you can do as a person.
Peanut
That's so
allergy.
expensive.
So, like,
Unless
taking a
you are-
$10,000
unless you are
ride.
about to die.
Yeah, but then you're dead.
Call
Who
an Uber.
cares?
Like, don't fucking get in an ambulance.
I took an Uber to the hospital. This is years ago when we first moved here. I took an Uber to the hospital and he's like, "You visiting someone?" I was like, "No, I think I'm having a heart attack." Turns out it was my first panic attack ever.
And many more to come after that. God, I wake up like every day now, like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have just an existential crisis.
Can you feel like your bed shaking? Like it feels like you have an earthquake? It's just your heartbeat.
I don't have the heartbeat. I have like the.
I've been waking up
hyperventilating.
drenched in
That's what it's
sweat.
called,
recently.
hyperventilating.
Yeah, you do that move? Drenched in sweat, waking
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Might be
Actually,
What's
it
I
called?
might have leukemia.
Night sweat.
Oh,
I was
fuck.
doing a lot of research recently when I thought I had cancer. That was a clear sign of leukemia.
Why did you think you had cancer?
I had a lump.
It's Tommy Smokes.
And that thing that I got taken
He found a
out was
freckle
cyst.
and he just.
Oh,
What?
yeah,
I got
that
a
is
pretty
scary.
Got a
When
pretty
you-
gnarly scar.
Oh wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
You want to get in there?
Like
Yeah,
2
let me
weeks
see it.
ago, I got it out.
Did you? Were you talking about this publicly, or did you?
No,
keep it
I
quiet
was
'cause you were
too
so
afraid to
scared?
talk
Yeah,
about it
yeah,
publicly.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch it.
You're
No,
infected.
I found it in like February in my bed, and I was like, uh-oh.
You know when something is real and real scary when a Barstool personality doesn't talk about it publicly to get like
Right.
sympathy or get followers.
And then I had blood work done, and like my lymphocytes were up or something, which is like a bad sign. And like I was freaking out. I was like, I got all these signs.
I mean, that's all it takes for Tommy. Like
That's all it
You
took.
walk around thinking you're dying anyway.
And
You
you
want
like,
hypochondriac?
Oh yeah.
oh yes. I literally there was one night I really almost cried myself to sleep. I was like, I'm dying. I was like,
For
this
what?
is it.
Cancer?
Yeah, for this, I was like, the lump. I was like, what is it? I was like, my lymphocytes are up. And then I had the surgery, and they were like, yeah, it's just a cyst.
They put you under for that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Was it like
When was
you
this?
could see it or you could just feel it? Like was it bumping out of your skin?
You know, you could see it, like the bump.
Oh, that's
You
just
couldn't
gross
see,
in general, by the way.
You couldn't
You're-
see
you're
the
gross.
outside of it. 2 weeks ago.
I
You
have.
had the surgery 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And you didn't tell anybody until right now?
That's what I'm
I
saying. That's
told
how
a few
scary.
people.
it
I'm
is.
working on a video about it.
Who was your emergency
after.
contact? What the
My
fuck?
parents drove me.
Oh.
There.
Were you
Yo,
like,
you
looking
know,
to
I
slide
like
in
being
there?
emergency contact. I think that's cool.
I stopped putting anything for it.
Nobody
People need to know find out I
nobody's
died. Like,
Have you ever
they
had-
can't help. I don't have like my emergency contact's not a doctor. They can't help, and they'll figure out I'm dead eventually.
Have you ever had to be someone's emergency contact? Like, have they ever
No,
called you?
unfortunately not. I
I was
don't have friends.
Yeah. I had to drive one of my friends back when I was like doing comedy and open mics. I had to drive him because he had a bad back. He hurt his back. So we got him there.
The big homie?
And then they're like, what is your phone number? What's your work phone number? He's like, 1-800-TACO was his fucking phone number. We were in a taco place. Like, it was just like, I don't know, this is the most
I hate
unprofessional
that
thing
shit.
I've ever
Like,
seen.
What do you need my work number for? I just fucking
right,
fix my
yeah,
back, man.
yeah.
Give me a break. Fuck. What were you just saying?
Leukemia, cyst.
I have leukemia.
Surgery.
No, the best story that I recently like got put back onto was the whole Francis cancer thing. That
yeah,
the saga
I'd
of
like
that.
to revisit that.
Listen, the saga is fucking crazy
Are you woke?
because he recently went on Gillis's podcast like a couple months ago and told the story. They asked him, "Have you ever been in a fight?"
Yeah.
And he has this awesome story. He wrote it on our blog
Yeah.
about when the Lobsterman beat the fuck out of him. He was in the bar up in Maine. It was him and his like Harvard lacrosse boys versus Lobsterman on the docks, and they all like paired off. If you read the whole thing, because it's like he kind of got lumped in with his friends and didn't really want to fight these guys, but they like squared off, and he got kicked in the face, and which was funny because he goes, yeah, like this. What I learned about Lobstermen is they're very strong and they're very flexible. And Matt McCusker was like, how do you know they were flexible? And he was like, because he kicked me in the face. It wasn't when he was down. He kicked me in the face while he's standing up. He's like 6'2", 6'3", whatever. So
I'd be lucky to kick someone like in the ass cheek.
yeah, I'm not getting above like, and also to be fast enough. Like if I tried, I'd be like, you can just push me over. Yeah, catch my foot. So he tells the whole story really well on the podcast and the blog. You can go read it. But he got like his face smashed in, and I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas. So he was home. So he like goes home, and like his nose is over here. He lost some teeth. He broke his orbital bone, and he was like,
Jesus.
"Merry Christmas, Mom," and she was horrified. So he went to get that fixed, and because he. This is what it's a very funny story because it leads to every other funny story. Like months later, he went to do coke for the first time, and this nostril was broken. So he was like, and like it didn't go anywhere. And then people were like, talking about uncool. They were like, and he was like, I promise I'm doing it right. It's just not going in. So he had to get that fixed, and then in the process, that's when they discovered the polyps that he thought that ended up being cancerous and not cancerous. So like all of this shit, like the domino effect and the butterfly effect of him getting beaten up led to this, led to that, led to the cancer, led to the fake cancer, which helped him get the job, which then he gets fired from. Like everything in Francis' life developed from this getting kicked in the face by a lobster man, who read the blog and DM'd him and was like, "That was me," and he was like,
You wanted to get
You wanna get it again?
You catch it every time you want to see it.
what was funny about it, in the moment, he said everybody paired off, and there was just like a natural breaking point, and he looks around, and everybody else was tied. Everyone else was like, "Oh man, like my nose, your eye," and then it was him, just bloody. And he said the only reason that he's not dead is because the guy just like had mercy. He just had him down and was wailing on him. But so then the cop, they heard sirens coming, and everyone's scrambling, and they all jump into a Uber or whatever, and he runs up to the guy like who's in the car, and he was like, "Good scrap, man, good scrap." And the dude was kind of like, "Yeah, for me, man." But he said he said it was like, I learned that I could take a punch and like get beat up, which is a cool thing. To
We should hire that
I'm
guy.
not dead. Yeah, he's funny, man. We should maybe bring him around here. But so that's when they were like, "You have these polyps." They did the surgery. They mixed up the thing, and so that was the whole like Francis has fake cancer. Which at the time I was pretty convinced he was faking it, but then after hearing like all of that shit, that would be like the most elaborate of lies.
I wouldn't put it past him.
At this point, though, it would behoove him to be like, yeah, that was all fake. More than
Yeah.
Yeah, like I played
pulled out
everybody.
his ruse,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
What
then
is Zam?
I don't think he.
this is
It's that mouth numbing stuff.
I thought I recognized it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of your House of Horrors.
Yeah. Yeah. They sent us some merch, so
Oh.
all right.
Are you layered up right now, or are you just bulking up?
A little bit of both.
you go to
Like
the gym.
It's cultivating mass over
Yep,
there, Vibbs
yep,
style.
yep.
You know?
Dude, you just call Vibbs fat?
No, I feel like you're fucking. You're
Are
brawling.
you wearing a bunch of clothes or you put on
Like you would look fat. He looks like his arms are bigger.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think you're talking about more.
You're
no.
jacked.
I've been working out.
Yeah, buddy.
It's the winter. You got nothing to do. You gotta.
Not the winter.
It's not.
It was.
It's
It was.
definitively the spring.
It was.
And we're actually inching towards the summer.
May. May's the start of.
Yeah.
So-
So we got like 3 days.
They just started what?
Summer.
Oh, we had this debate also a few weeks
Fuck
ago. He thinks
Vibbs.
it's like August.
I was
or
saying,
some
no,
shit.
he's so
Memorial
dumb.
Day.
We had this debate.
I think it's
on
July.
Bustin' with the
I think it's
Boys.
Memorial
it's
Day.
June.
I'd say
No, it's
Memorial Day at the latest.
So I think that we do need to shift the seasons, and we agreed on that. But then he shifted. Wait,
Yeah.
it's the summer is
No,
June,
June,
July,
July,
August.
August.
The spring is September, October, November. Winter is December, January, February. March is April,
See,
May.
November is
March
winter.
Spring, yeah.
Yeah, spring is I mean that is like. It
November's
works
not
for-
winter.
No,
It's so cold.
There wasn't. No, it's not.
November's
There was a
fall,
time it
November.
was.
The
It is
problem
no longer
is
that.
yes,
that time.
the degrees are shifting where it's like. The problem is you don't get any spring or fall anymore. It goes from
Okay.
like 50 degrees to 90 degrees real fucking quick. And on the other side, same sort of thing basically. So it's all fucked up. But if you think, I couldn't believe so you say July, right?
July. No.
So
Like July,
when
August,
you think
September.
summer starts?
July. Fuck. Yeah, July, August, September.
So like, so I said to him,
No,
as,
you're
as,
so
as,
stupid.
as,
You're
so,
so fucking.
as, a,
September
as
is
a
such a
kid,
clear-
he would say,
Mixed
I
October-
can't wait
So
for
you
this,
have 1
like,
month
to
of
get out of
fall.
school and
No,
like,
because
to get out of
fall is
school in
October,
summer.
Yes, and you go back to school in
It doesn't
September.
get cold
In the
until
fall.
January. It does not get cold until January. That's an absolute goddamn fucking fact.
Well, I mean, if we're going by weather, like that applies.
Yes.
Like, it depends where you
Well,
live in the
that's what
country.
you go
Then
by
there could
the
be
seasons,
there could
Tommy.
be no
You
fucking
fucking
anything.
idiot. You
That's
go by
not
the
how it
weather.
goes. It
Yeah,
goes.
but what
It's
about
a
in
lifestyle.
fucking San Diego?
They don't.
San Diego's a summer
always
year round.
summer?
They don't have winter.
They don't have seasons at all.
No. They don't.
So if you go to San Diego and it's fucking June, you can just be like, I love the wintertime, man.
Yes.
You're an asshole. You're
No,
a fucking
absolutely.
giant
No,
asshole.
no,
You would
you-
lose
no,
at
no,
the
no,
strip
no.
club.
I
You
wasn't-
have a pretty asshole.
I wasn't listening to you. I thought you were going to say that in December you could say this is great. It's summer year round is what I'm saying in San Diego.
They just have one season.
It's just one season.
So
Yes.
then the real
Still winter. Their winter is
Are
just
you making
warmer
there's
than
a
our
winter in
winter.
San Diego?
There is
that what's
technically a
happening on the
winter
show
yeah.
right now?
Yes.
That's wrong.
Then we're furthest away from the sun or some shit at that point.
Yeah,
like it's
well,
just
that's
still warmer.
you do know that it's really not just based on like, can we go to the beach or not?
I
Like,
know,
there is
I know, sir, scientifically.
So
But I don't give a fuck about scientifically.
the argument
I
you
live in
should
the
be
real
making-
world. I live in realistically.
The argument
And realistically,
you should
it's
be
summer all
making
year
then
round.
is not based on like 3-month chunks. You should be saying that the
daily?
winter is basically like January, February, that's it. That spring is basically May, April, and May, that's it. And the rest is winter and summer.
No, I like my argument better.
Your
I appreciate your help, but I'm going to stick to my
Your
guns.
argument is wrong, mine is correct.
Saying like week 3 of the football season when you're 3 weeks into classes
Summer
is still the summer.
is so
is
asinine.
So stupid.
No,
so
no,
stupid.
it's based on weather because that's what seasons are, and it's
Sometimes
still
it
fucking
gets
hot.
chillier at the end of September.
No, I still wear T-shirts to football games at the end of September.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an argument.
When he wears shorts all year round. When he wears shorts everywhere he goes. That doesn't fucking mean anything about
No,
the season.
everyone else in that stadium is wearing T-shirts too.
No,
it's
listen.
not just me.
September is so warm.
You guys got
you'd be-
goddamn.
You would be an idiot to say that,
you're gonna throw it.
that the temperature has not shifted. You're right. It stays warmer into the spring. It gets it like doesn't get hot until like Memorial Day is usually fucking cold still.
Yeah.
Right? So like there is problems with that. But talking about things like when you get out of school, when you get out of school, when certain things open, when certain things close, what are the seasons for like restaurants and all that kind of shit, like there's 3-month chunks that make so much sense. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Those are like that's it.
Nah,
It's so easy.
That wasn't.
I can't believe
As
it's
a any
argument.
argument
I'm
are
sorry,
pretty
I'm a
close.
revolutionary, and you guys aren't fucking up to speed with me.
But you're-
There was a time.
You're
That's what I'm
revolutionary for
saying.
the wrong
We're in a
side.
Revolutionary.
New era.
Do the full revolution and do what I said. You're going half-ass revolution.
You're like an American Revolution in 1776, but it's like we need more control by the British. Like you want the revolution,
fucking play
but
what
like
you
you're on
say.
the wrong
Dumbest-
side.
you're the dumbest
You're on
person
the
I've
wrong
ever read.
side.
You're fucking nuts.
You want a revolution, but you want the wrong side of the revolution.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm on the right side.
not
You're
American.
every side of
You're
the
the
on the
South.
right side.
You want slavery.
Yeah, you like slavery.
What is this?
John is a racist, slavery, un-American.
Damn it.
Damn.
See, I'm gonna Pete Alonso this. That's not true. That's un-American. I'm recording this fucking podcast.
We solved that last night anyway.
Yeah, we did solve it.
Yeah, we did.
We had one second on that.
Great segue.
We had the argument. We had this argument with
Tommy.
Busted with the boys.
Nice.
And we had this like money podcast done with them, and they had some sort of like corrupted file with the video that me and him we argued. Wedding Crashers, Harry Potter, the seasons. I mean, everything was like a screaming match but we were all like agreeing with each other at the same time.
I'm not mad at God Corrupted though, because they made us rank our favorite Barstool boys.
Those guys are such motherfuckers. They always do that to everybody.
And I don't feel like having those fights.
No.
They made us tier the Barstool employees.
They made us cheer. Tommy, you would have loved it.
Who was number 2? Behind me.
No.
It was like tiers of 3. They actually did kind of like give it in a way where there was a clear, much like the seasons, it was a clear set of each person. But I was like, next time you come
we don't
on.
already know.
Did they give you a pool of people, or did you have to go off the?
No, they gave us 9 people.
Okay.
But then they were like, oh, we don't have to do this. You can just like who do you hate?
yeah.
So next time we do something with them, I'm gonna be like, so like rank your favorite coaches and like who's your favorite what guys on the other teams do you fucking hate?
Rank how hot you think the Barstool employees are.
But you guys solved racism, huh?
Sure did.
Survivor was just a super racial episode last
Really?
night, like
Yeah.
maybe the most racial episode ever, and then afterwards.
I didn't know black people even did.
Me, Nate, and Jake
Survivor.
kind of break it down for an hour.
Jake Marsh, Tommy Stokes, and Eric Nathan. After like this racially charged episode, like, well.
Did you do it on like Spaces or Zoom or something like an after show? Or you just like
for
fuck
the
around?
podcast.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't
okay.
live. We were
Got it.
do that
I
one.
was gonna say that's
We
dangerous.
got all the jokes out of the way before we hit record.
What happened on Survivor that was racial?
So they have a new rule where it's like 50% minority, so there are more black people. And
You got the Rooney Rule there? So half the show has to be black?
Not black, but
Are they making the black people
person of
versus the
color.
white people? That would be smart.
That would be
They've done
great.
They
before.
did that.
They've
Season
done that before?
13.
They've literally done that before.
What?
They had black tribe, white tribe, Spanish tribe, Asian tribe.
Shut up! Who won?
What year was
An
that?
Asian guy won. Season 13, so maybe
2013?
Like, 06.
Oh.
Making more sense.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, we have that question on ATI, who would win in a football game, the all black players or the all white players? And that was back in the day when they had no quarterbacks.
Yeah, there was a time.
It was basically like, can you?
Will Compton's gonna tackle Michael Vick?
Well, but the idea was like you're either not gonna have a quarterback and you're definitely not gonna have any corners. So like who like
Jason
wins that
Seymour.
battle?
It was.
But now it's
before-
like-
Yeah, it was
Pat-
before
Patrick
Mahomes
all the
was
best
back when he had
quarterbacks
really
are
come into
black.
prominence.
Now it is. Yeah.
I mean,
And back then it was
We'll have to have
maybe
our,
Michael Vick.
like what?
I
Wide
don't even think
receivers
Vick
playing
was
both
playing with you.
sides? Like,
Pretty
what would
much.
we even do?
Yeah, I mean corners. It's just we'd have to have Jason Seward come out of.
Jim Leonard out of retirement.
Yeah, like Jim Lynch.
Eric Weddle in safety, basically.
Yeah, that's all you got.
That's our one D-back.
Right.
John Lynch was
Yeah,
that?
John Lynch is the only guy.
Well, no, it was current players. It wasn't.
Yeah, but back then it was probably
Lynch
Jim Lynch.
wasn't playing.
No?
I mean, maybe he might have been like
think
his
he
1
was,
year
no.
run with the Patriots.
Also,
Yeah.
unfortunate last name on that guy, but
Jesus Christ Almighty. So, by the way, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that fucking. That's a Chappelle Show Survivor.
oh
Yeah.
I can't believe like that's something that I would feel like black people would make fun of white people being like, yeah, I'm gonna go sign up to live in the jungle with no food. Like, see you fucking dirtballs later. But okay, and the Asians won that one.
Asians won. Yeah, there were two Asians and a Hispanic guy in the final three. Asian won.
So, but what was racist about this one?
So there's 4 black people in the season, right? There were 4. None of them have been voted out yet, like so far until 2 weeks ago, or last week. Black girl got voted out, and then there were 2 tribal councils last night. Like there were 10 people left, split up into 5. Black guy got voted out, but neither had to. The black guy got voted out because he was a misogynist, not because he was black, because he wanted to start like an all guys alliance.
That feels like a Sunny thing.
Can you be a
like, this is
misogynist?
not because you're black, it's because you're a woman. Okay?
That's like I feel like you can't be a misogynist on Survivor. You're like, I want my fucking crew.
I mean, this guy.
like, right? You can't.
You're about to say something misogynistic.
No, I'm
Do
not.
it. Do it. Say it.
No, if you're like, I just want. Like, if you're forming alliances, you're like, I want an all-dude alliance.
That's
That's what I
misogynistic,
think
bro.
is the best way to win this game.
That's misogynistic.
I don't think that's misogynistic.
It is because.
No, it wasn't actually misogynist, but like
Women-
that's why they voted him out. It was like there were two guys who were like, I don't want to be part of this.
I'm not
misogynist.
agreeing that it is the best way to win the game. And I'm saying if that's what your thought process is, then that's how you play the
But
game.
then your thought process is misogynistic.
I mean, it's a great idea.
That person's thought process. That's
Yes.
not misogynistic.
But yeah, then the 2 black girls on the other side came in and saw it, and she was like, oh, now I see 2 black people on the jury. Even though they did vote for the other black girl last week, like the black girl voted for the other black girl the previous week, but she's like, I just don't want this to be a pattern because like usually in Survivor the black people go out earlier and it's like,
Oh, she said that?
yeah.
In a confessional or to the people?
No,
the
in
people.
at tribal
Woo,
council, like, to
buddy.
everyone. And then the
That's
one
like,
white guy,
girl,
the one
forget
white
about
guy was
winning
like,
the game. You got to think about like your profession afterwards to be out there being like.
the one white guy was like, well, let's wait a minute. He was like, I'm not racist. Like, he's like, I want to get you out because like she had an idol and like all these advantages.
I want to get you guys out because you got those extra muscles and you can run faster and jump higher. Like Jesus Christ.
So yeah, but the 2 black girls both had hidden immunity idols, so they both played it because they were like, I'm not going home tonight, but not because I'm playing the race card. Like, I'll play my idol to like
Just to
so
be-
that you can't vote me out. Like,
Got
so
it.
that people at home.
Because I know you guys
And
are.
some
playing
white girl just got the ride. She just got sent home.
So
She's not even going home anyway, but like she also like is
I was
like,
her,
a
I'd be
big
like-
time Christian girl from Oklahoma. So I imagine deep down she's fuming.
I hope. I mean, did she have like a confessional reaction?
she
didn't show her.
She kind of stormed out though.
Yeah, they
she was like,
didn't
"This is
show
God's
her.
will. I guess God wasn't here." Whatever. Like she did that whole
They
thing,
didn't
yeah.
show her after. Like
How-
usually
how
you get
long's
voted out.
the
You
season been
you
going?
see their.
This is week 5 or something.
No, it's been like 2 months.
From what I hear about this show, how is she still on the fucking show?
Yeah.
Oh, she was.
was God's will.
But yeah, they usually show
back
something
to
voted out, and you see like the aftermath. They showed
didn't
it
show
for
it.
Rockstar, they didn't show hers.
So because probably was like we can't air any of this.
Yeah.
Beep, you motherfucking
But,
beep.
yeah, we solved racism afterwards.
So what did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, we said, whatever.
It sounds like you
Okay.
very much.
I
did.
said that
They
I
said,
now,
well, whatever.
I now have struggled to get on Survivor. Like every
So you know the
person on
struggle.
Survivor
Because
now.
you're white. Because you're white.
Because I had to do that podcast after. I had to break down racism as a white guy after. Like, that's true struggle.
That was your calling.
Tommy's been dealt a bad deal where like his parents haven't died of cancer and like
Straight white
he
male.
just went to a good school.
You gotta
Survivor
differentiate
now,
yourself.
it's like the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Every single person has, except one guy last season, he was like, I was a little chubby in middle school. Like that was his
it.
entire bad.
Yeah,
Everyone's got like a story to overcome or whatever.
I got the cyst. Maybe I'll be like,
Yeah.
Oh,
You just lie about
I
cancer
thought
like
I was
Francis did.
dying.
tricep cancer.
Yeah.
The dreaded armpit cancer.
Yeah.
You know?
Could have been
Almost got him.
sarcoma. That's what I diagnosed myself with.
I would have been scared that it was the lymph nodes. Don't you have lymph nodes in there?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
That's like your dead cancer, big time.
Yeah, but not necessarily. Like they were like, oh, it could be enlarged lymph nodes, which is like if you're sick, you have enlarged lymph nodes.
Right,
But
but
also
I
it's
think if you have
clearly something
Lymph
different.
node cancer, it's like constant.
Well, if you have lymphoma, I think it depends which lymphoma you have. I don't know.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
good
yeah,
lymphoma
yeah.
and the bad
There's
one.
some where you're
Or good
there's
Hodgkin's
some
and
that
bad Hodgkin's.
Kevin,
Yeah.
who would you feel comfortable at Barstool if they got cancer hitting them with a console?
Ooh, you?
Yeah, I would hope so.
I would definitely I would jump at that.
That'd be great.
Fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you said that. I'm offended how slow you said
Yeah.
It's
that.
like if I tweeted like an app, what notes app, like I have cancer,
And he just
and then he just like replied like
Awesome. I can't wait to console someone with cancer.
We talk about that a good amount on this show. That like we're due for a Barstool.
We talk about that every time I'm on. We talk about this, and I swear to God, when I was going through this, I was like,
I'm
we've
the
had this conversation.
I always like
so
look out. I'm
fucking
like,
much,
there's
and it's
gotta
gonna
be someone out there who's fucking
Are you saying cancer or just like death?
just dead.
Yeah.
Like we are.
God, we're so due.
We're so like we've had a good. It's been fucking what 10 years.
Yeah.
No one's died. Who
Not
works here?
one.
Well, like,
untimely
we're an exceptionally young, I was gonna say company.
Yeah.
Like so.
But now we're not anymore.
I'd say we're
But now, Big Large is getting up there.
pretty
Drinking
reckless though
every-
compared to most companies, right? Like
Yeah.
these people are
Well, Donnie is going to be
Barstool
dead soon.
Sports.
yeah.
Chef
No, but
Donnie.
those are the guys that never die that early.
That is true.
Yeah.
Because they, you know why? Because they're like their bodies are good. They're athletic and in
Yeah.
shape. So as long as they don't die from a tragedy.
does. Is
No,
not,
I meant Chef Donnie.
Oh,
like,
oh,
you know,
oh.
he's like he might die because he's jumping out of planes and shit. But when he's on the ground, he's got healthy lungs, healthy muscles, heart, like the whole nine.
You see the shit he does on Instagram? He's
I was gonna say, we
climbing
haven't
the
even had a
Empire
suicide.
State Building. and stuff.
That is
That's
true.
pretty crazy.
That
Even even a suicide, like that's pretty
know.
nuts. Like,
That's what we should
a bunch of
have.
sad people that are like
That's
entertainers.
surprising
Like,
that we don't have.
Not even like a realistic attempt.
yeah, not putting that out
Yeah,
there.
everyone who's ever even talked about it is a phony. There hasn't been like you took a bottle of aspirin, but we got to you in time,
I like
which
how-
is surprising.
I'm like the kids in my mentions now. Like, if it's not about that action, just say it.
If you talk about suicide, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
People who just fucking do it, that like we didn't see this coming.
Just
Because you're crazy.
Just show up to work. I'm there with a bunch of presents for everyone. Like, I just want you to have this. Like, is this your favorite sweatshirt? Like, yeah, but you hang on.
I don't need this anymore. Okay. Speaking of the weirdos of this company, 1 month Ethan snuck into Canada without a
he get back?
passport. It's not getting
How
in.
did he get
It's
in?
getting back in. It's not getting to the country. It's not coming home.
He flew.
He
private.
snuck into. Oh, he flew private. Is that what he did?
Is that how they got in?
He got into Canada
How'd he
on a
get in?
bus
Oh.
without his passport, and because Dave's up there and he's trying to prove himself, so he was like, I think it was kind of like, I'll meet you in Canada, we'll do it, and then he was like, oh, I don't have a passport, and I think he was kind of like, I'm gonna show Dave that I can get anything done, but like, we can get you into Mexico, we can get you into Canada, you
Yeah.
can't get back to America
still
without it.
there?
I don't know.
Nah, you can't. Does he have a passport?
I don't think
Or
so.
just he didn't have the physical one on him?
I don't think he has.
He doesn't seem like a
He
passport.
doesn't seem like he's been traveling the world. He's an
Yeah.
idiot.
As someone who just went out of the country without a COVID test, I actually did have the COVID test, but like, what I kept telling myself on my way to the airport was like, look, I'm not the first person who's had. There's
Somebody who
there's
has.
systems in place to fix
Yeah.
this. Like
Right.
I'm a legal.
Well,
citizen.
that's white privilege.
Yeah, but like,
so you will get let back in.
Systems will have my badge.
I'll just find a police officer. I'll say, officer, help me. You're here to help me, right?
Dude, I've done that before with like bags, like walking into the airport like hungover after a long weekend, being like, I definitely have drugs on me, and then being like, whatever, I'll talk my way out of it, just
Yeah.
throw it in the X-ray machine.
Yeah, you get pulled over. You're like, I got some weight in the trunk right now. But they'll be
Whatever.
like, you're
I'll
okay.
just flash a smile and be like, whoopsies. They'll be like, whoopsies, what a white colloquialism that is. Go again.
It is very true. But I think right now it's a little bit tense. Canada, America, COVID, borders, and it's definitely much more about,
Truckers, right?
Yeah, truckers. You're right. You might.
Sleepy Joe.
Maybe that's what he did. Maybe there's like, they're at the border and they're worried about the truckers and the bus just kind of slipped through. But the problem is going to be getting home. you were worried about like getting to Jamaica, all that shit. It's about getting back, where it's like we're a real country.
I don't think
we will stop
Canada
you.
is
But
trying to keep Ethan in
like
their borders.
one of us. Check the system, bro. Like, I'm in there.
But like
Go to
It'll take longer. It won't be-
and check me out.
it won't be easy, but he'll get in.
I don't know though, because you hear these stories about like I gotta get a 90-day fiance, or I gotta get my green card, or I gotta get my visa, or like they
But they're
aren't gonna
not-
deport me.
But they're not
American citizens. It's the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but Canada's not trying to keep Ethan in their borders either.
Russia's
Right,
keeping
I don't.
Brittany Griner.
Well,
Yeah.
they're,
For how long?
Yeah, they're like taking
they
her.
still are?
Yeah,
Dude,
months now.
I would bet a lot of money they're like taking her DNA and doing like
Oh,
weird shit
Jesus
with her.
Christ.
I mean,
Creating like a super soldier?
Yeah. come on. What else would you?
I mean, they used to,
Is
I
she still there?
Yeah,
think so. For fucking
for,
weed.
for
man.
vaping.
Shouldn't smoke weed.
You really though like it's fucking ridiculous. Like let her go, but like why are you fucking around in Russia, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why do you even playing ball there? Like go play in like safe Europe. Don't
Yeah.
go over to Russia, and definitely don't flaunt your. I think she just like tried to go through the fucking.
Yeah.
She was probably like, I'll just smile and get away with this.
Yeah, she didn't say whoopsies.
Would you try that in like a foreign country like Russia or something like that? Like bringing weed in?
Would I try it?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't try it.
No, locked up abroad.
Dude, I snuck
Locked
out
up
of.
abroad is the worst.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of your fears, right?
It seems pretty avoidable.
But no, but that's the thing. Like there's the true horror stories that people like planted in your bag, or they use.
Yeah, I'm saying like just don't go abroad.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you for sure. But there are times like if you are traveling, you can do everything right, but some drug smuggler like switches bags with you to get it in the country, and you take the fall, and you're fucking done.
Now, well, add it to the list.
When I came
Reasons
home
not
from
to
the
go anywhere.
Czech Republic, I had they had like absinthe over there, and I thought it was the real absinthe, the stuff that was illegal. I'd seen Euro Trip, and I was like, holy shit, they have the illegal absinthe that makes you trip. So I bought like a bunch of nips of it, and I stuffed it in my hockey bag, in my hockey skate, and then like put a hockey sock over that skate, being like, the dogs, thinking dogs sniffed absinthe. And dude, like I was sweating like fucking crazy going through customs, being like, oh man, I have so much fucking, what do you call it? Psychedelic alcohol on me. I was like 16 years old, 17 years old. I was like, I have so much psychedelic alcohol on me. Like, if they fucking go through this bag, I'm so fucked. And they were like, the whole team, they're like, all right, whole team.
You're good.
go.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone
We're not
can
searching
go.
a bunch of 16-year-old hockey kids.
Yeah,
Like, get the fuck
yeah.
through here.
Now you got to remember that most often I'm never worried about them being like, that's the guy right there. He looks like an international drug smuggler. What I do get worried about is like a TSA person who was grumpy that day, just being like, I want to stick it to somebody, and you like forgot like a pen in your bag or whatever. They're like, this is illegal, and then it's just like it's not, but someone's just gonna fuck you. You're gonna be detained for whatever. None of this has ever happened to me, but that's what I worry about. That somebody's just gonna be like, I'm doing it because why not?
Getting framed for murder is a fear of mine.
Yeah.
But also maybe like I think I
Have
could
you
just
given
be
your
like,
DNA yet?
I think I could just be like, come on. Obviously,
You're
didn't do it.
you're
in that
really
You're
the
in
defense
that
rests.
weird zone where like it could be like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, true. Like
Tommy,
a Riddler.
you definitely
test.
have
Yeah,
that.
right. I was-
Well, yeah, not so much the Riddler, more so like school shooter. Like,
I mean, the Riddler kind of school shooter, Rob.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he was like he masterminded it. I feel like you would be like, oh, he was a sweet boy. Like he was a quiet boy. We didn't know. That's
You break into Tommy's apartment, he's got a bunch of like little dead rats and animals that he's like been
You know
experimenting.
what I've always thought is like a good scheme? Is like, so if you're wrongly framed for murder and you get out, you get restitution. Like, don't you get like, I'm pretty sure you get paid like pretty
Yeah,
handsomely.
you always see that.
Like,
Probably
you
given the
should-
circumstances, yeah.
I don't think you
Framed.
get paid pretty handsomely. I think they try and give you some hush money and they go, no, I'm gonna sue for like $100 million.
yeah.
Right, but like you could maybe frame yourself getting framed if that makes any sense.
And to
Do you
proceed.
Like you kill
You have
someone.
my ear.
You kill someone, but then you
make it look like you've been
willingly
framed?
get arrested for it, and like at first, but then you're able to make it look like you actually got framed.
It's a good
You're
movie.
able to afterwards be like,
That
no,
would be a
somebody
good
else
movie.
did it. I was framed, and then you get all the money.
That would be cool. So you gotta have a situation where
Wait,
like
so you would go to jail?
How long? Yeah,
You'd
how
have
long
to
are
go
you
for a
willing
bit.
to go to jail?
I mean,
for?
it depends on. I mean, I'm not doing.
how many
it.
times? I was gonna say, how many times do you think
think-
Tommy would get raped in a bit?
Oh no, not again. You guys come in the shower too? No, I'm like if it's a movie, it'd have to be someone like really desperate for money and maybe
Yeah.
tougher than me and could take it in prison, literally.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe you would give it.
These are people.
Give it.
Guys, I'm not racist. I solved it on Survivor.
But yeah, I don't know. It could be a good TV show. Or movie.
Smoke
Yeah, I
sister.
like that. My idea. We always forget to write down the movies we come up with. We always come up with good ones on KFC Radio. Most of them are dumb, like funny rom-coms. But I've always wanted to do
little
one where
expertise.
it's based on 9/11.
Oh, you have my attention.
We got to take down Pete Alonso before he takes down the towers. But it's someone who like
Such a funny movie.
it's a very like hot tub time machine type thing, where it's like whatever, just one of the stupid fucking movies. If it was Pete Alonso, stop Pete Alonso from doing 9/11.
Pete
Time
Alonso,
machine.
international terrorist.
I want to do. It's like someone who's like owes a bunch of money, or has killed someone and is on the run, or needs to disappear and start a new life. So they like go down to the rubble and they like pop a tooth out and throw it in and like frame their own 9/11 death.
You know
like
that-
someone who works in the towers or would have been there that day and they weren't, but you just throw your wallet in the
So
fucking
it has
mess.
to be like a year later.
You
Like more recent. We can't be doing that 20 years later, right?
No, yeah, this would take place in
have
2001.
you read the story of the woman who like worked down there and people think that she like faked her death in 9/11 and like just like ran away?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
like could you clear your
No,
debt
but
or
there's
whatever
it's a real story
Yeah.
though. Like people don't.
Well, even better, it's based on a true
People
story.
don't know if she's alive or dead or she. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I was just saying it's better because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
What
But
did
asses
she
and
do
seats.
wrong? Like, why did she need to disappear?
Like it's like she has like it should be like a serial. Like she has like every little moving piece. Like she was like cheating. There was like all this
Right.
other stuff going around.
In my mind, it was someone who's in gross debt, or
Yeah,
they
like-
are like in too deep in the drug game and like need to get out, and they would just like I'm just picturing a scene where they pop their own tooth out, or they have to leave some sort of remains in there.
I
and
think
then-
you gotta have more than a tooth.
No, because you burned
Bro,
to death
I mean,
in 9/11.
they find people in powder, bro. Like
Yeah.
they,
Yeah,
you know,
but
very little.
Like, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck is there one tooth?
Well, that's so even more so maybe.
It's like tied up.
Maybe
now.
Also,
that-
like, is there DNA in a tooth?
I don't know. They
No,
do dental
dental
records though, you know.
But isn't dental records like your jaw?
I don't know.
It'd be DNA.
I'm
trying to workshop here.
No,
Don't workshop the
I think
script.
what would be cool would be like if it was something like I'll leave my tooth and my wallet, and someone was like, no man, we got to make it look realistic. We got to like grind your fingers up. Like how much do you really want this? Like we're gonna have to make it look like it's
Face-off, yeah.
some face-off shit, yeah. So that was my idea.
How many you start?
It's my 9/11 movie.
We've been talking about 9/11 so much.
We were talking about 9/11 with Bargatze so much that he goes, boy, you got a lot of 9/11 stuff today.
It's my favorite topic. It's just so funny at this point.
Definitely gotten, you know.
I-
We can laugh a little bit more.
I love Nate Bargatze because
Funniest guy
his
in the
jokes like aren't like complex or anything. He's just naturally funny. Like it's very simple.
Thing he says.
It's just hilarious.
It's the voice and
His
the
voice
eyes and the
is so
drawl.
funny.
Nobody's
And he'll just
better
be like, hey
inflection
man, you want a
than
bottle of water? And I'm like, yeah.
I posted that clip yesterday of his wife came with him because he had a show at the Ryman after our interview. So his wife came with him, and she had a bit of a coughing fit at one point, and like we all popped up.
It was enough that like I thought she was choking on something.
Yeah, so like, I popped up through a water
was that
bottle.
on the
Nick was
bracket?
getting like a glass of water, something like that, and Kevin goes, Nate really sprung into action there, and he's just like, I've seen her cough 1,000 times, man. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. And the way he said it, he's like, she got to learn. Let her work it out.
Don't touch her. It's like, and if I said the exact same things, it would be like,
It would sound like you were a monster.
he is just naturally like so goddamn funny.
Dude, he had do you see the clip of him on Foreplay today?
That's what. Yeah.
Where it was like Frankie asked him if an alien came down and was like, what's a day on Earth like? What would you do to show him what a day on Earth's like? And he's like, man, I just have like a regular day, like get in the car and I'd be like, hey man, I don't know if you guys have these things up there, but that's gonna keep beeping until you put that seatbelt on.
Thinking that first is so fucking
and then for 1 minute, that's all he talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, and he'd go back and he'd be like, he was real hung up on seatbelts. And Frankie's like, if you could ask him one question, you wouldn't have one. And he goes, yeah, it's when are you gonna put that belt on?
See, that to me, I can't figure out whether like, is that just Nate's brain is fucking so funny, or does he like have a written bit about, you know, aliens and seatbelts from years ago that he's like, oh, I can like slide this in perfectly. Either way, it's wildly impressive.
I think I would guess I've seen 90% of Nate's, maybe higher.
You've seen like his special.
Of Nate, I was gonna say of Nate's published.
Like that could be like that was a, you know, I scrapped that bit, but it fits perfectly for this little podcast right here, because they just guys like that who have been doing it for so long. It's like if I throw you out an idea, like an alien or a wife or a boss, or he's like, I've got jokes.
No, but
on
like they're
jokes
great
on
at
jokes
improv,
on
and
jokes.
he knows how
Sure,
to use
sure.
like inflection, like to make everything funny.
His inflection
Like
is
he's just
It's
like
perfect.
mastered
that
inflection.
drawl, man. It's like everything's slow but quick. Like it's quick wit, but with slow delivery.
Yeah,
It's
he's
fucking
perfect.
What else? We had something for you. I had something for you.
For me?
Yeah. Was it Nicky?
Oh, speaking of aliens, I watched that show Bob suggested
Speaking of
today.
Outer Range? Yeah.
Outer Range is dope on Amazon Prime. 2 show suggestions: Outer Range and We Own the City.
Yeah,
Fire.
I started Outer Range too. It's cool. He said it's like
I didn't know
Yellowstone
Imogen
mixed
Poots was
with
in it.
Was the show you
aliens.
stake your reputation on?
Severance. Does anyone watch
I
Severance?
haven't done
I
that.
started it. I have it. It's only 5 episodes, right?
9.
9. Oh, I thought I saw something that was only 5. I started
Best
it.
show maybe I've ever watched.
I know. I saw. You said it was the best ever, and I was like, on the
I mean,
one
like, I
hand,
have Survivor, I have Chuck, but just in terms of like,
okay,
those are,
like-
all right.
What about a
no,
practical
I'm
joke?
saying those are like enjoyable, but like in terms of like unique concept and
Yeah.
like execution.
Well, when I saw
like,
the subject, I was like, this is gonna be awesome. But what I don't like, I thought it was gonna be like everybody in every industry can do it if they want, and it was gonna be more about like the whole society versus like. So you just know that this company is doing some shady shit, really.
right, but like there is a lot of mystery and twists.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think it's
awesome.
a bit slow for me. Like the first.
The first episode, people say it's slow. I don't remember
Yeah.
thinking that, but I think
I've heard it's very, very good.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It was to me it's a little bit like it's weird and I think it's actually like well done. There's a lot of like the way they shoot things and the way that they do some things, but to me it's like I like plot better. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to see all the.
It definitely picks up.
Does it? Okay, cool.
But
I've
it's
done, like,
also how
2 or 3
fucking
episodes.
spoiled we've become with like shows where it's like it starts a little slow.
Yeah.
And I noticed that first with Breaking Bad when like
Don't get me started.
you're like it's slow starts. Like it's like
There's
it's like 50 minutes in.
There's a murder, drug deals, death, like everything in the
episode-
first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
What does bother me now, and I think I'm spoiled by it, is movies particularly. When movies start out with like a 7-minute, like while they're rolling the credits montage thing.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I actually
Just
watched-
get to the fucking.
I watched Donnie Brasco yesterday, and
Do that.
it just there's nothing, and it just starts.
Yeah.
Like at least Bond, there's the chase scene first.
Right.
In this, it's just like it was just like a very, very long. I don't know exactly how long it was, but
And sometimes those are even cool, but I'm
This
like,
one wasn't even trying to be cool.
it was just
a really
rolling
long
the credit.
intro.
Yeah.
you know, a movie I just watched first time in a decade, Beer Fest. Very, very, very,
Fest.
very funny.
Did you watch that?
I was just
Hungover,
high
just
and
watch- yeah.
scrolling, and I was like, I haven't seen this movie in forever. Very funny.
I'd actually prefer a TV show to start slow because it's like then they're taking their time to like craft a storyline.
Yeah.
And, like it's building up to something and the
Right.
payoff is better. Like if it was just immediate stuff, it's like, well, I don't care.
You don't know what's
Like,
going
the
on
slow
yet,
build-up
you know.
makes you care
No,
more
I
about
do
it.
see
I've
that.
started Better Call Saul just because everyone's talking about
Couldn't
it.
do it.
But like it's kind of the same thing as Breaking Bad. Like an episode, maybe 2, like there's some fucking shit going down.
I
got
bet
to
you
5.
starting now is a good idea.
Wait, Kevin,
Because I think
you-
that I did a lot of comparing to Breaking Bad naturally, and I was like, this isn't as good as Breaking Bad. Whereas now it's been so long that I would probably watch it on itself. I remember saying though, like I think season 3 is when we get to like the Walter White timeline at least, and then it got good. And I really think you could pretty much just skip like a lot of it.
So, didn't you watch a YouTube compilation instead of watching season 2 or
I
something?
might have done that.
Because I was
I
thinking
think
about
the
doing
city
that.
started like season 3.
I was thinking
I
about
tried
doing
in the
that.
beginning, didn't like it, really wasn't interested in powering through like 25 hours of television.
Yeah, that's my
like,
issue.
And that's why I like bailed on The Wire. I don't watch things that I don't like. I don't care if you guys like it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like I didn't care for The Sopranos because I don't like
Did you
mob
watch
stuff.
Mad,
So I'm
did
just
you
not.
watch Mad Men?
No,
I
I
stopped.
same thing with that.
That
I
one's
just was
slow.
like-
Season
That's
Man,
slow.
turned off in like 15 minutes.
yeah, I think I watched like the first episode and I was like, eh. But like, and I know people are like, oh, you know, I don't know, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like The Godfather. Just don't like it. I'm not gonna be pressured into liking something.
The Godfather is actually dope. I was highly
When
pressured.
I
into
watched
watching
that,
The
I was
Godfather,
like, I don't like
and
it.
it was fun.
I saw when I was like 10. I just remember the scene of the guy.
Because you
chopping
already
the
lost some
eyeball.
Scabelli. I don't have any consonants to end.
Yeah, fair.
Vowels. I did.
Balance.
Owls.
But I was saying the other day on Lights Camera Barstool, I have literally movie amnesia. Like
Yeah, you forget like immediately.
I don't know why. Like for as good as my memory is with like other stuff, I just can't remember.
That's good.
spots
You
of movies.
watch them again.
Watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
just rewatch them. Like
I think I
can't
have
remember
sports
anything.
amnesia. When people are like, "How'd you get that wrong on the dozen?" I'm like,
Thank you.
"Like that season ended,
Dude.
Like I don't need that season anymore. It's never gonna matter anymore. Like we're on to the next one."
I'm the exact same way. Like, who was drafted in the 3rd round, the 2006? It's like, why would
That's
I?
why.
remember-
That's
yeah.
why. I mean, I don't get like any sports.
But
questions
your
right on
number
the dozen.
thing, I agreed with you too. Like,
Numbers?
I know Ovi's number and I know Juan Soto's 22, and like that's about it.
horrible at
I'm
numbers,
terrible
yeah.
at that.
There's that one on the dozen where it's like this person's
Yeah,
jersey
yeah,
plus this
yeah.
person's jersey, and like I didn't know Beltran's number, and they were like, "That how you're not even a Mets fan?" I'm like, "Okay, guys, I'm not a Mets fan."
wearing this hat. I'm not a Mets fan.
I walk around like a fucking asshole for fun like this. I'm a t-ball coach now.
Are you?
Oh,
Well, for this week, I went. We started t-ball for the first time. I went. There was already a coach, and I don't know why I expected him to be like a coach. He's just a dad, and he was like, "I don't fucking know."
Will
what I'm
you
doing."
be the coach pitch on one knee, lobbing it in there?
Not yet, not yet. This is still just like straight t-ball. This is like so young. Some
you-
kids can't even hit the ball on the
You
tee.
guys the Mets? Or
Fucking
team?
loser
Idiots.
kids.
What team are you?
No, they're.
We're the Grasshoppers.
Oh.
You don't use real teams?
That's what I said, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You had real
I,
teams.
Yeah.
No, I have
Yeah.
like corporate sponsors from I had like Villa d'Este Italian restaurant.
No.
So
We had
I
that
had
on
that
our
for
back.
for like minor league, like
Yeah.
you know.
We had that on our back where our names would be, but we had like I was
We were
just
real teams.
I was
Yeah, we
the
were
Devil
just colors.
Rays
We
for
were
a
like
while.
I was
I
the
was-
Tigers, the
We
Indians.
went
I was
by
all
our,
of it.
our corporate name. So like, well, this was also in City Island in the Bronx where it was like just a little island of kids. So there's like 6 teams maybe total. So like there was one that was called Interborough. They were like a oil company. So you played for Interborough. And Interborough
we
was
would
like
go
the
by
Yankees.
colors.
Interborough was always good. I don't know how they did it. And then there was Sammy's Fish Box is a really big restaurant on City
Hell
Island.
yeah.
So we like people would be like, I play for Fish Box. And I was like, this is awesome.
I'll tell you what, if they sold one of those jerseys on Grailed or something like that, I'd buy it.
Right? Absolutely. That's what I mean. Like if I could find my old jerseys for Interborough, at least for me, would be. So Keegan's on the Grasshoppers. Yeah. I'm trying to spin it like karate, like grasshopper is a thing, you know? Like I feel like they're like grasshoppers can actually lift like 150,000 times its own weight or some shit.
You should
But
get-
it's-
you
it's-
should-
He
all the
knows its
kids-
lane? That he's a grasshopper?
he doesn't know what's going on.
You know what you
dude.
should do this weekend when you were the coach and before the next coach shows up? Have all the kids saying grasshopper in an Asian accent. And so when he comes back, and then they're like, who are we? Like, grasshopper. And he's like, God damn
What
it.
did you do in 1 week? We played the Iron Birds last week. So there's the Thunder. I think there's like Thunder and Lightning, or Storm and Thunder or something.
Grasshoppers really got the raw end of the
Listen
deal.
to how much it gets so much worse. There's like Thunder, Lightning, Iron Birds. There's something with cats. And then fast forward,
like
there's
devil
the
cats.
muck dogs.
Oh.
I was like, how couldn't I get the muck dogs, man? I was like, this seems actually highly inappropriate. I've listened to too much Spit and Chicklets, but like the muck dogs is something like I was thinking about making Barstool merch that said muck dogs.
Wait, what
and
is
just
a-
being like, yo,
what's a muck
like
dog?
we're the muck dog.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a cool fucking name.
Yeah, it's a fucking
I
dog
mean-
who mucks barn is
Yeah, I'm a dog eating pussy. I want my 4-year-old to be one of those guys. I was like, I wanted to be like, I'm gonna make hats and
4-year-old
shirts with
eating
Welker, and then be like, listen, we are now.
4-year-olds suck at eating pussy.
That would be so bad.
So bad.
Fucking idiots.
So they can't even eat ice cream.
Can I have chicken tenders?
That puss.
Oh my God, you took it too far, Nate. Yeah,
We'll
but
cut all this. Don't worry about it.
So the coach was like, I'm out next week. And he's just like looking at me. And I was like, cool, man.
He wanted you to vote like.
Yeah, and I was like,
got it.
where you going? Anywhere cool? So I eventually am like, all right, I got it. And then even
you
after
really have to
that,
do?
no, that's the thing. But he comes up to me at the end. He's like, boom, here you go, like one of those big ass bags with the tees and the extra hats and the balls and shit. And I was like, oh fuck. But I don't know what I'm gonna do because I mean it's so stupid. I didn't think that like we were gonna be playing real baseball, but I was like, oh boy, these kids are still too young. Like
They don't
know
keep
what's
score or
going on.
anything, right?
No, you just like go through the order. You don't. There's not even runners. There's no outs. You just go through.
Limbs.
Like it's so young.
It's not like baseball.
I thought there was gonna be like some semblance of play until I realized all of the kids run after the ball wherever it goes. But there's this one kid, James, who I think might be either a little older or he's gonna play in the bigs.
He was held back.
shows up wearing baseball
Yeah.
pants, got a batting glove on,
Yeah.
hat fits all right, and he fucking bing, like to the moon. And then he gets every ground ball. He runs to it. And like the other day, there was like some girl standing at first base. Her dad, all the parents are standing with their kid. He's like, honey, go play first. I was like, this is
You're
not
allowing
good.
girls in this league?
Actually, there's one girl who's
wonder
like,
the grass
she's
iron.
bodying people too. It's the good kid and the girl. Everyone else is getting, I'm like, Keegan, push the other girl back. But this kid, James, like ran over barefoot. But he whipped it to first like we would do, and it just boom hit this girl. I was like, let's go home. It's crazy. All the kids are like, can we play on the playground now? Like,
James is tweeting at me right now, calling me a pussy because I don't like bench clearing brawls.
You're not about that life. I did get a glimpse though. I'm thinking like when do you start to care about sports as a dad? Like I do want him to play sports. I do want him to be competitive. Part of me when he was just like kicking the dirt and playing with his new friend, I was kind of like, come on, like can you at least try? But I'm also like, oh, I fucking care.
Yeah, don't
Whatever,
care.
dude. Huh?
Don't care. That's lame.
I just want
play video games and get rich on that.
Embarrassingly bad. You don't
That's
want to
my
be like the bad kid
Right.
on the team. I don't need my kid.
But also, I'm pulling the plug. If my kid's really bad at something, I'm just gonna be like, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We're
a
gonna go like we're
give
gonna try
up.
to play a
Yes.
different game. Yeah, we quit. We're a household of quitters. Like if something's not working, we'll find something that does work for you, man. If you're not
That's
good
the
at baseball,
reverse bracket. Like cool things, quitting.
Quitting.
Just
Quitting's
quitting.
awesome.
being the guy who quits.
Yeah.
I quit like in the middle of a baseball game once. I had it was like 6th grade. I had this really fucking dickhead head coach who was just like riding me and like everything was my fault and he was always. And in the middle of a game, like I was playing catcher and I just like threw down to third on a guy who was stealing, and I think it like went over his head, and he was like, went off on me, and I was like,
You're like,
fuck this,
dude,
I'm
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I bounced. I left the fucking field.
He's
I
got
was like,
Bobby Knight
fucking
coaching
nuts.
him in 6th grade.
Yeah, really. I mean, this guy. It was like, I was like, I don't know, man. It was an error. I threw the ball away. Like it happens
I
sometimes.
always think about like mean teachers growing up. It's like, dude, we're like 11. Like, why are you being so mean to us? Like,
yeah.
what's your deal?
Well, that whole shit. Like, I guess teachers now. Like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson or something. But if I was a teacher, I wouldn't teach you shit except for the fucking curriculum.
Right. It's like,
Like, that's for your parents to do, man.
mean teachers always like fascinating
Yeah.
me. It's like,
I can already tell that there's some dads on the other teams who are really. I'm like, bro.
yeah,
My kid still shits in his pants. Yeah.
My kid's got a diaper on under his baseball pants right now. You fucking kidding me right now?
There's a chance that might happen. All right. Anybody got anything else? Or we
Oh,
wrap it
I
up?
want to ask what they think. So I was in Nashville. I went to
Were
strip
you guys
club.
in Nashville?
Huh? And I went to a strip club, and the stripper. It was weird. It was like the strip club was not open yet, and the strippers were
John,
kind of hanging.
let me just say, John keeps characterizing the strippers and the strip club as the weird place when he went there at like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday.
It was a Friday.
It was Friday. That's true.
It was
That is
Friday.
true. That is true.
And
still, I
but it
think
was
you
like
were the weird one.
they weren't stripping. They were just hanging out. So I hung out with them. I was just killing time until Shane's show, and
Nowhere else to go to kill time besides.
it didn't make sense. We were in the middle of where we needed to be. So the Airbnb we got was in the middle of Zany's and Broadway. So it didn't make sense to go all the way to Broadway to go all the way back to Zany's. So I was like, I'll just find a place to get a beer. And they didn't have beer there, so I had to bring my own. But the point of this all is that I was just talking to the strippers, and they were like, honey, you should come back tomorrow. We have a prettiest butthole competition.
Ah.
And unfortunately, I had a flight the next day. But we were trying to figure out yesterday, what do you think of prettiest butthole? Like, how is that judged by the
The
patrons?
logistics of
Is
like
that judged
who
by a
and like how do
panel?
do they just like
Number.
I feel like
I
it
think
might
it's
be
like round of
crowd-
applause.
I think it's crowd noise.
round of applause?
But crowd noise, then how can
You know what I hope they do?
There's only like one person who gets a good look to judge prettiest butthole.
Come on. They
How,
got,
how
Like, you think everyone's getting a
broadcast it on
Yeah.
a broadcast it on a TV.
do they have a
the rest of the-
TV?
No, they weren't.
I hope it's crowd
might have
crowd
one
noise,
TV.
and I hope it's like.
There was like, but I mean, crowd noise. There's 3 chairs maybe that could make a realistic judgment. Other than that, you're just judging based on how hot the person is, and that's
Yeah.
not the right way to judge prettiest butthole.
yeah.
And you know
They
what?
should have
Maybe-
masks
They should have masks.
They should have masks, but maybe like presentation. Like I
want
don't
them
know.
to-
Some might go legs over their head. Some might bend over. Some might touch it,
fine.
and play with it.
Oh,
and,
I
you
see,
know.
I see.
If it's a pretty asshole,
But that's
contest and
not
you come up and
prettiest,
start
and
blasting.
It's like an MVP thing.
Well, yeah.
Well, then change the name of it.
Right,
It's not
right, right.
It's not value. Change it
the
to best player.
asshole.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Prettiest.
I also think butthole bothers me, by the way. When people say butthole, like if a girl is like in like porn, if they're like, "Look at my butthole," I'm like, that's what I kind of say. Like I
No,
was
I
talking
think
about
butthole's-
Tommy having a butthole.
I think butthole's funny.
It's funny. That's what I mean. If you're trying to be sexy, you gotta say asshole. I think.
Wait,
If it's like
asshole
look
is
at my
sexy to you?
butthole. Yeah, asshole sexy. Yeah, look at my booty hole. Asshole is for sure sexy to me.
I think
Assholes are
butthole-
where it's at.
Butthole works too. Oh, it all plays, babe.
I'm picking. You know, we're nitpicking. here.
We're choosing.
What are you,
like,
you acting like you're
what you
above
call
asshole?
A home run.
Oh
It's
no,
all
I
sick.
eat the shit out of it. Or not literally, but
Well, assholes are like the I said whoever came up with
maybe it's
this
the
is
word
just doing
hole
business.
that ruins it for me.
At the
Like,
end of the
that's
day,
the
no
best
matter
part.
what you call
Oh,
it,
yeah,
I'm still
that's the
putting
best
it
part.
if a girl's like lick my ass or lick my asshole, I think I'd rather her just say ass.
No, that's what I mean. I like that.
You're a fucking
yeah,
pussy.
You really are a prude asshole. You are absolutely a prude loser. Eat my anus. I don't know, man. It's an asshole. Put your
He's a
tongue
fan of the
in.
podcast.
I want to
Floppy
eat
on my
asshole
rectum.
real
Nate's
quick.
got a fucking
I'll show you.
the human anatomy book out. Like, actually, technically, that's not what it's called.
Eat my colon.
Oh, show's over.
That's where I'm drawing the line.
Rectum. Yeah.
Right.
Go watch Slate or Sling, whatever it's called.
Slate.
Slate.